Welcome back to Central Coast Disc Golf. This is the 2023 Beaver State Fling presented by Innova. I'm your host, Nate Perkins, joined here today with my good friend, Ella Hansen. What a wild front nine, Ella.
Absolutely. Lots of ups and downs from our feature card. Some triple bogeys in there, some great shots. And I'm excited to take a look at this second half of the Milo McIver Gold layout.
Yeah, lots of excitement about playing some new holes here at one of the best courses in the United States, honestly. This is a tournament that everybody on tour looks forward to all year long.
Absolutely. And hole 10, starting off our back nine with one of the easiest holes on the course. There's out of bounds lining the path on the left side, but it's really just a big distance shot trying to bite off as much as you can off the tee. And the basket is right here on the edge of this tree line. Can be a pretty simple forehand, backhand, upshot, whatever you choose.
Clackamas River, right on the left of this fairway here. You can kind of hear it off in the distance. Really raging this year.
Absolutely. Lots of water in that river. And Jess playing that flex, getting way down there. That looks nice from Madison. That's a nice skip. I feel like Kat Mertsch has I don't know how to describe it, but she has such lanky form. She really is moving her body when she throws the disc.
And she's one of the few players that when she braces, her knee is bent, actually, and she'll rotate out on that toe, which you don't see very often, but she's having no problem getting the disc up to speed this year.
Not at all.
And Kat's a little bit more of that classic kind of straight front leg brace and rotate around it. And that's actually the best release that we've seen from her so far.
Right in the middle of the fairway.
Katrina Allen was just a bit off on the release point on the front nine, and 7 over par through 9 holes is probably the worst that she's been at all season. So really hoping that she can clean things up here on the back.
Yes. Nice shot from Jess. Like I said, this is a pretty simple upshot, but can get a little bit sometimes get in your head just with how simple it is. And yeah, like that, just not quite giving it enough.
Yeah, it just kind of fell out of her hand. Leaves herself a 38-footer here.
Let's see if she can get heated up a little on the back nine. Oh, man.
Wow.
Putt there for Kat.
She's 3 for 3 from that 33-foot range right now. Edge of circle 1. Just looks really comfortable with her delivery.
Absolutely. Good birdie for Madison. Tomaino. So 3 out of 4 birdies. Par for Katrina. Moving on to this layout's hole 11. This is, of course, the famous Philo Albatross hole. Playing as a par 5, 850 feet for the FPO. It's a big righty backhand hyzer off the tee, and then trying to get your shot somewhere in this area, hopefully with an angle to the pin. You know, there's a lot of different ways you can get to this hole, but you certainly don't want to get in any of those big trees. Another one of those holes that feels really, not maybe really, but definitely straightforward and is a little more challenging than it looks to the eye.
Yeah, it's kind of a good test for distance on hyzer here too. You can't really shape anything from left to right off the tee, so it's asking you to throw as far as you really can on that hyzer line.
Mm-hmm. That's drifting right, but right in the middle of the fairway for Mertsch. You know, I thought the other day about how Kat has 5 consonants in a row in her name, her last name. It's a lot of consonants in a row.
Nice, Ella.
That looks great for Jess. Getting, just up to the top of the hill. That'll put her in, that'll give her plenty of options of getting up to the basket, up to the green.
Can you have a name with more consonants in a row?
I don't think so. That's why I keep thinking about it.
RTSCH.
Yeah. It's a pretty cool last name, I think.
It is cool. And just trickles into the wood line there, and it's just so thick anywhere off this fairway. And Kat gonna force herself to go through that back door, I believe.
Looks like Madison's lining up maybe a forehand. Oh no, she's lining up a backhand.
Nope.
Wow. Wow, that was a sick shot.
Yeah.
From
Can't
the
really
knee.
do much better from the knee like that.
And gets a little skip and roll. Looks like that was a little too straight for Katrina.
Oh. And Jess's angle right there was pretty pinched, but unfortunate hit right there, and she is looking at that backdoor line. It's either that or something really crazy around the right side, like a forehand roller. She's just singing to herself.
Singing
this is
ABBA,
great.
lining up her backdoor route.
Could you hear what it was?
Yeah, Take a Chance on Me by ABBA.
Good call there. You picked that one up quick.
Oh, yeah.
Do I need to check this artist out?
Oh, yeah. It's a Swedish, like 80s girl band. They're pretty good. You probably know some of their songs.
Cool. They're playing currently.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
But they're an older band. Pitching up around the corner. Still a little bit looking like a 25-footer for Katrina. This is a frustrating hole to take a bogey on. Really feels like one you should get the birdie or at least par it. So I believe this is for a 5 for Katrina.
There we go.
There we go. And this is Madison for birdie after that awesome scramble shot. Get in there. Nice.
Wow, that is an impressive up and down.
Cat.
One of the characters of
absolutely a
the entire
character.
scene right now. And this, what a hole here, hole 12. This is one of the classic downhill par 3s. They call this one the dream hole?
Oh, I haven't heard that name. I can see why though.
Yeah.
Playing back down from the top of that ridge again towards the river. Definitely you could push into the river. That's obviously out of bounds. There's a lot of trouble on this hole. Low ceiling, downhill. Definitely parkable, but definitely mess upable.
Yeah, it is mess upable. It totally is. If you go early left, you're likely having to throw. And look at his shot
That
from
looks so
Kat.
good. Wow.
She's gone deep. Oh, and that's so unfortunate.
That is,
She's gonna have
yeah.
nothing right there.
That looks so good. Got that nice hyzer flip up. You think that was that same Thunderbird she keeps throwing?
I'm not sure what that pink one is.
Okay.
Should
That's a
know.
little too inside.
And there's that miss. If you
Oh.
throw it too inside, you're likely throwing from this hillside with these pine branches in your face, and it can be hard to get up and down.
Yeah, it looks like Katrina got a nice kick out there, but that's not a fun place to be, I say from experience today. So Madison, like I said, those low ceiling branches can be scary, and I think she just went to a little bit of a nosedive, and that's going to be obstructed circle 2 for par. Oh, brutal.
And there's not going to be a look either.
No. So, yeah, Katrina had a clear look with a untraditional stance, but gets herself to the edge of the circle. Not quite as far as she'd like.
Good try.
Get in.
Oh. I don't even think she can see the basket.
Yeah, she's just pitching it up. Definitely the smart thing to do there, but an unfortunate result after a really nice rip off the tee.
And Kat to save par from deep in circle 1 on back-to-back holes.
Nice. Right in the center. Getting that putt working. Hopefully she can tune up that driving a little bit.
It's hard to dig yourself out of a hole at Milo.
It really is.
It's not a course where birdies are just abundant, especially if you're not really shaping shots exactly how you envision them.
Yeah, like I said before, there's a lot of pretty straightforward shots, but You really have to be on hitting your line in order to score well out here.
That's just about the best drone shot that we've had, and disc off right there, flying over the Clackamas River. And Holland Hanley still holding it down at 7 under. She is 3 ahead of the rest of the field.
Hole 13 of our gold layout is a par 3, 310 feet. Uphill pushing hyzer shot for most of the field. This is a tough one to really get right. You can kind of throw more straight and push the back wall and get that hyzer finish at the end, or you can throw something a little bit flippier around the corner on hyzer and let it flip up towards the basket. There is also a left side route, but not super common play for most people. Is that Thunderbird again? Looks like for Kat. Getting to the edge of the circle long.
Wow. She's putting a move on it for the FPO pin. And this is playing as the second easiest hole for the FPO division.
And that looked like a nice release for Katrina. I think she's going to have a putt for birdie. I bet Jess is going really flippy here. Or maybe not super flippy.
Dials up a beauty
There you
right there.
go.
Wow. See the angle that she took into that tee pad?
Yeah,
Super steep from left to right.
that's what got me thinking that flippy, but
Yeah.
not super flippy. Just played the skip really nicely. Pushed the back wall. Oh, man. Bye.
These reaction cams are good.
Yeah. Oh, man.
No. Man, it just hasn't been Kat's day.
Seeing a lot of emotion from both cats in a little bit different ways. Nice park job birdie for Jessica. And I believe pars for the rest of the card. Hole 14 is a par 4, going to be a backhand hyzer through that field goal. There's kind of a gap to the left, and you really just want to get as far left down this fairway as you can. And then we're S-curving back to the right, up a hill, into this protected green. This takes a really good placement shot on the approach to get up to the basket. If you are short or long, you're not really gonna get up there, or high or low. You know, you gotta hit the sweet spot.
Oh, I like this tee pad position right here. I feel like most people play that line that Jess just took right there.
Yep, I think most people are. Whoa.
Wait, cut roller?
Oh my god.
That would have been
That would've
sick.
been
I
sick.
love what she's doing right now.
Wow.
Just
I was
sending
not
it.
expecting to see that kind of shot. And that's kind of the danger there. of throwing too high speed or too flippy off the tee, pushing into that back wall. Oh, man. So this is a tough spot to be. Just trying to bite off a lot of distance. In the rough on the left side. I think I have done that before from the exact same spot.
Coming down.
Wow. A lot of height, getting the full big flex forehand.
That was fun.
Yeah. That should be a fairly simple chip up there from Kat.
Yeah, there's a bit of a backstop here. She might have a chance to throw one in, and beautiful hole from Jessica, really.
Yep.
Nice approach with that forehand.
That's just about as good as you can do it, I think.
And Kat let off a good drive, but you can see just how quick you can fly too far straight and pinch your approach off. And we've seen what Madison can do from a knee, but just gets the nose up a little bit on that one, stalls it out early.
So both Kat and Madison, who hit those early trees, are... Oh! They were pitching up for a bogey, but Katrina's throwing in for a birdie.
Wow.
Wow. I mean, yeah, give it a run. There's certainly a backstop on this one, and that was not a putt. That was a toss, and she's grabbing her disc and getting out of there.
She needs all the throw-ins she can take right now, and that's just one of 8 birdies here on the 14th.
Oh,
No way.
no. Yeah. Kat is not loving that.
That's so sad. That's the second brutal spit out we've seen.
And we saw a couple of issues with these baskets last year, and I was hoping we'd see an upgrade, but I think it seems like they're the same ones, and
Yeah, this is the same basket that Corey Ellis fell out of the bottom of.
yeah. I think might be time for an upgrade here.
That was so sad, and that's
Woof.
going to move Kat back to just 1 under par. And we are headed into a wild combined hole here. This is Old Hole 1 East, headed to the pin of Old Hole 2. Ella, how difficult is this combination hole?
It is challenging. I think I personally enjoy this hole. I think it's a fun challenge for us, and the approach shot on this green is challenging, and I think that combining it into a par 5 is a good move because you can run the green, you can get some distance up there on a par 5 that you don't necessarily have from the tee, the Old Hole 2 tee. You saw a lot of layups last year, so this makes it a little bit more exciting. Just pushed her forehand a little too straight. That might be what's happening with Katrina as well.
Oh, she hit that one hard, but yeah, just didn't quite get that angle.
I
she
think
was
you
looking for.
really have to throw on a lot of Annie to get around the corner with a backhand on this hole.
And we've seen over the years that while it seems like you want to go fast, most of the time the fairway or the driver kind of stalls out and then ends up in the woods deep.
Yeah.
Even on a good line, as we're seeing here with Kat. That's
Wow.
exactly what we've seen over the years. Normally the putter or the really flippy mid will kind of hold that turn and drift all the way up this fairway.
Yeah, I choose to go with the mid off the tee. I think Cat Mertsch's angle was great off the tee, but yeah, that disc choice kind of forces that stall out a lot more. That's gonna be
Just pinched.
tough angle, yeah.
You really want to get this one out to the left, and I think that's part of the difficulty here is that it kind of baits the player into shaping something up into the wood line instead of giving themselves the angle out in that open field.
Yeah, I think for, honestly, most of the field, there's a chance at an eagle on this hole if you throw two really good shots, but it is also super punishing if you are short or long or just don't quite hit your gap right. It's looking like a lot of pitch ups kind of right to that mouth of the green at the bottom. And yeah, we see what happens when you push in the rough early. You gotta scramble.
Pretty significant slope up to the pin as well. Ton of rollaway potential.
Definitely the kind of putt you want to make sure you take your time on. Pars for Madison and Cat.
This is just another one of those unforgettable pin positions here. One of the most picturesque greens you'll ever see. Especially early in the morning or golden hour of the evening. This tree that's covered in moss right next to the pin.
Holland looking like she's dropped back a stroke, but still leading the tournament. Maria Oliva and Jennifer Allen at 5 down, 1 stroke off the lead. Hole 16, par 4, 520 feet. Pushes pretty significantly uphill off the tee. It's going to be a backhand hyzer, and although this tee and overall hole shape is the same, they did push this pin position back a little bit further. Close to the road, makes the approach a little bit more treacherous and adds a little bit of that danger with the road out of bounds behind it.
Yeah, just a subtle change, but it really did change the dynamic of the hole quite a bit. Used to, it felt like you could get up and down from anywhere, even short left or, long right, but now there's a very specific spot you want to land if you're trying to throw straight into the green.
Absolutely, and really the one error you don't want to make is what Jess did, and that's go early left. Really pinches off the approach. Nice and wide there for Madison. And that's a really nice looking shot from Cat Mertsch, giving it some height. Definitely hard to kind of get that height right on this hole. but that puts her in a really good position.
Man, that really panned back to
Wow.
flat. What a shot from Jess. Pushing the road even.
That should give her... Wow, that got way down there. What a shot.
Just needed to beat that last tree. I feel like that tree stopped a lot of shots today.
Absolutely. There is kind of, the straight gap, but you can attack the green with a forehand or a backhand. Man.
It just tallies up one more for us.
That's looking good from Kat. Getting it around the tree. Parking it. Whoa. Good bid from Katrina. Just a little short.
Nice birdie from Mertsch.
And pars for the rest of the group. And we are going to move on to the genius hole adjusted. I don't know what does it still count as the genius hole?
I think we're calling it the evil genius hole.
Evil
now,
genius
Ella.
hole. I like it.
They've combined the genius with the next par 4, which plays to one of the island greens here in the parking lot. This is a treacherous par 5. You want to throw 350 to 450 off the tee. Then you have to cross this road, and then you have to approach this island in the parking lot that plays pretty fast. There's some mulch on it, but it's not too sloped, so it plays really fast. This is the hardest hole on the course now, and just an amazing disc golf hole.
Yeah. Oh, Cat getting too much turn off the tee. Besides all of the roads and concrete, there is an out of bounds line there on the right side. And that's going to set her up for a really tough scramble. That's looking a little too turned as well. Might fight out and does. Good tree reaction for Jess.
This hole played 6.5 strokes. It averaged 6.5.
Wow.
A full stroke and a half over par.
Wow.
That's about as high as we've really seen.
Yeah. The cat just surfed off that branch. Little rail slide, putting herself in a solid position.
And you know, after the 7 over on the front, she finds herself 1 down on this back 9 with no bogeys.
Yeah, definitely cleaning it up. And yeah, we're seeing pretty much everyone on this card pushing that right side. Which you really do have to do in order to get past kind of the line of trees on the left on this first fairway.
Get over.
Oh,
No.
man.
That's so unfortunate.
That tried so hard. It was about half an inch from being safe, I think.
Curbs just have magnets anytime it comes to disc.
Yep. And worth noting that all of the curbs, including the road and the curbs, are out of bounds. So if you hit the curb, you did not cross. That looks too hazard.
That might even have stopped short of any
Did
out
that
of
catch
bounds.
the corner there?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's going to be a weird spot to throw from, and this is a really interesting spot. This is going to be her 3rd after going OB. And she's looking way down the fairway.
Okay. Getting a little pinched when you're on the left side of that fairway. It creates some interesting gaps to throw through, but looking smooth.
Get over it.
Up. Okay.
Oh, that was so close both ways.
Wow.
Gets right through the trees, skips right before the curb, and she needs it.
Yeah. Madison getting over
It's a
towards
good
the left
shot,
side.
but it's not too great to approach from that far left
Right.
because you're kind of forced to go for the island, and it's just scary. There's really not a comfortable place to approach this island from unless you're jump putting.
And Jess flipping up that forehand, I think, a little more than she wanted to, and she's putting herself in some rough over there. This is Mertsch's fourth, I believe.
Yeah.
Putting herself in solid position. Should be able to get up and down for a bogey there. She plays it right. And Madison just pitching up again.
This is one of the funner holes to watch in person, just watching people come through and try and make the island from all kinds of different spots in the fairway.
Absolutely.
And after all of our competitors have thrown their fourth now, we've got to give a shout out to Jennifer Allen for carding the lone birdie here on the 17th.
I was on that card. It was a absolutely wild gap shot from, it's probably like a 350-foot upshot, getting onto that green and made the putt. It was, oh no, that is brutal. This green is really fast. Wow. Yeah, shout out to Jen for getting the birdie on this one. Well deserved.
There you go.
Making the putt for a 7 after that unfortunate slide out.
And Kat actually played this hole pretty well after that first OBT shot.
Absolutely.
That's just a single bogey after throwing 3 from short of the road. And we got a pretty good look at why it's the hardest hole on the course for both the FPO and MPO.
Absolutely.
No, it's the same hole.
Yeah.
And it's our hardest hole.
Wow. Yeah, this hole is absolutely tough.
It played right at 5.2 for the min, but an astonishing 6.5 for FPO, and we move into the 18th.
Pretty simple tee shot here. It's going to be a hyzer, straight to hyzer shot. You really want to get left side of this tree, although there is a gap on the right side up to the green if you want to go for it. There is out of bounds road on the left and an out of bounds line on the right, and then they put together this really nice green. This is a new short pin position for the FPO, and pretty picturesque finish to the course.
I was pretty jealous actually when I saw the green. I thought there was going to be a new hole for everyone, but turns out just your finishing hole, and really beautiful work with the Beaver State Fling logo in the stump there.
Absolutely.
And look at this. I actually don't see a lot of people throwing this shape.
Wow.
She is just bombing the disc right now.
Yeah, she is. But that is going to be a really tough spot in the backside of that tree. I personally really like the hyzer just because it is pushing away from the tree, and the grass is, skippy but not too skippy, and you can usually trust that you're not going to take a big jump into the out of bounds on the left.
And you really don't need much off the tee here. You just need the angle. It's only 535.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially for players who aren't as comfortable throwing forehands, just getting to the left is really important. That looks nice for Madison. Yeah.
I just kept slowly
Awesome.
drifting. Great stability selection there.
Absolutely.
And this sets up pretty well for a little chip forehand, and those logs kind of stop you right at 26 feet or so.
Yeah. Not quite to the edge of the circle, but
Yeah.
still gonna be a tester with that elevated basket for Jess. Nice shot for Katrina, giving herself a short putt to
That's going to be for 2 down on the back.
finish up a
2
clean
down.
back 9. And Cat trying to throw a cut roller, doesn't quite get it far enough, and lining up a gap. Yeah, that'll be a putt for par. Might be obstructed by those limbs, though.
Whoa.
Wow. Good
What a-
finish.
What a wild ride to finish
Yeah.
the round. I mean, pitiful performance, she says. And we're going to run this one back. That just
Nice.
went inches over that branch.
Wow.
What a cool look at that. Thanks for the slow-mo, guys.
Beautiful.
And I don't know if pitiful is the word I would describe Kat's round with. She had a lot of very memorable shots as Jessica sneaks one in for her birdie on the 18th. And, Kat did have some unfortunate holes, the double there and a late bogey, and just shoots 1 under par. But, yeah, she just has high expectations for herself, doesn't she?
She does. She does. Yeah, getting under par here is not too bad, but it definitely feels bad when, especially having 2 big double bogey and a bogey in the last 5 holes. Katrina getting a birdie to finish out 2 down on the back 9, getting herself back to 5 up.
And that is it for round 1. Katrina shooting 2 down on the back to kind of save her round. And Kat Mertsch is our only competitor that finds herself under par. Let's take a look at the leaderboard here.
We're going to see Holland Hanley, Maria Oliva, Jennifer Allen, and Rebecca Cox on our lead card tomorrow. Solid rounds all around for those folks.
Yeah, lots of scoring to be had here at the new Beaver State Fling Gold layout. And thank you guys for joining us here on Central Coast Disc Golf. These guys are working hard around the clock through the night to bring you this coverage. Hit that like button, leave Ella and myself a comment, and maybe subscribe. Help the boys out. From Nate Perkins and Ella Hansen, we'll see you for round 2 tomorrow.